Hey, it's LSF here today. Today we're here to look at auto thefts again. But this time is a little bit different because we've always been talking about auto thefts in Ontario and Quebec, and it's so high and all that. But look at the title here. Quebec, Ontario organized crime groups boost Western Canada vehicle thefts. So they're moving to the west. So the folks in Alberta, like Calgary, Edmonton, British Columbia, the folks who are in Vancouver, in Victoria, all these cities, you guys will have to be a little bit more concerned about your vehicles. So they're saying that organized crime groups are stealing vehicles as a way to conduct so-called trade-based money laundering, disguising the money trail, and their criminal activities are that they generate those activities. So let's come and look at this global news. So this is coming from Global News, and they've actually obtained some information that I don't think there's that many people who've been able to get. And that's why I'm actually showing you this article where they've investigated and get more information from this report. The goal of this video is really just to ensure that the folks in Western Canada, you're aware that those numbers are getting higher and higher every day. It is not just purely an Ontario or a Quebec issue. This is starting to go west. All right, so let's continue to go down here. So let's see what they say. So they're saying that Quebec and Ontario organized crime members are traveling to Western Canada to steal valuable vehicles and then ship them to Montreal. If you think of it, from Ontario to Quebec, going to Montreal is very close. But if you are stealing it from Alberta to Montreal, they're taking a much higher risk of someone noticing that their car is being stolen. They're still doing it. That's the biggest problem. And then when you look at it here, it just says, generally regarded as a regional issue affecting mainly Ontario and Quebec, vehicle thefts have expanded to Western Canada, with Alberta's number of vehicle thefts now nearing that of Quebec's. So meaning Alberta's number is getting closer to Quebec's. But Alberta only has 45% lower population than Quebec. So that is scary, meaning there's more cars stolen per person in Alberta than Quebec. So when you look at here, it says at least some groups targeting these western urban cities are believed to be coming from Ontario and Quebec. So they're leaving Ontario and Quebec, going to Alberta to steal a car and then drive it back to Montreal. So they're saying here, Ontario and Quebec crime groups are moving west to dodge eastern police enforcement, and because vehicles from Western Canada are perceived as less likely to have anti-theft protection. So again, because when you look at it, Ontario and Quebec, we know that our cars are at risk, so we add IGLA systems, we have steering wheel locks, we have ODB port protections, we have added a lot of things to our vehicles to just really prevent the car being stolen, or even a tag system where if it does get stolen, we can find them. So a lot of these are done in Ontario and Quebec. But now they're saying that because there's not as much in Alberta and British Columbia, they are really looking at, these are easier to steal and you probably cannot find them once it's been stolen. So they're giving you facts here. 2022 and 2023, Alberta reported 24,588 vehicles stolen, compared to Quebec, 29,705. So compare that, that's only less than, that's like 5,000 vehicles. But then population-wise, Quebec has way more population than Alberta. So they're also saying that they are seeing increased violence because they're not just stealing your car that's just sitting on the driveway. They're also doing carjackings. They're also invading homes. They're breaking into your home to actually steal the vehicle, not to steal your 80-inch TV or jewelry or money that's left on the table. They're just going in and trying to find your key fob. Once they find your key fob, they go away and they take your car and they leave. That's interesting, right? Well, I guess the car has 4 wheels. It's much easier to leave with it than carrying an 80-inch TV out of the door, right? So one thing that they've also said is it's important to note that many of the carjackings, the owner of the car is not in the car. Like they kick you out of the car. They make sure that they're the only one who drives. Because if you're in the car and they drive away and you're still there, you're actually at higher risk. And they see there are some countries like Brazil and South Africa that happens. And that is actually quite alarming. And they're saying that they don't want to alarm Canadians on this, but I think we all should be alarmed with the number of vehicle thefts that's happening. And the situation is getting scarier, and it's not as bad as Brazil and South Africa, but it's still bad, right? And I think the most important thing, I think a lot of people have said this already, the concerns of these vehicle thefts, they've stolen a car, they've been arrested, but 2 hours later, they're on the road to steal another vehicle again. That's ridiculous. Follow me on Instagram at LSFTvideos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX 450H Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, share it with your friends. This definitely will help with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, or visit my Amazon storefront before you purchase anything from Amazon, and or you can purchase products from the list on the items that I've been using with my vehicle or at home at no extra cost to you. And now let's continue with the video. Organized crime is 3 or more people engaged in criminal activity. Okay, so they're saying that right now there are 78 organized crime groups that are stealing vehicles in Canada, and that includes 63 of them in Ontario and Quebec. So there's still about 15 that are elsewhere. But they're saying that it's up 62% compared to 2022. So 78 organized crime, and if you look at 62% increase, you're talking about a lot less, probably 20-ish to 30 organized crime in 2022. Now they're at 78. And I think the reason why is they're getting away from it. They're actually getting young people to steal the vehicles, even if they get arrested under the Young Offenders Act. You can't do much with them. They're also saying that the thieves are actually becoming more sneaky and people aren't as obvious that they are stealing your vehicle. So what they're saying is they're using tow trucks to steal vehicles. So when they're parked on the street, what they're saying is it feels that there's less suspicion that there is actually a theft happening because you have a tow truck just towing it away. And even when you tow it away, cars, when you're driving on the highway, when you see a tow truck, oh, there's something wrong with that vehicle. You wouldn't suspect that they're actually stealing the vehicle. So even when there's a smashed window, you would say, oh, okay. Because if you think of it, if your car got stolen and then they actually recovered it, it may have damage. And how does it get to the police impound or goes to the dealership to get repaired? You need a tow truck. So if they're stealing a vehicle in Alberta and they're towing it away, people who go by it will just notice that, oh, they're going to the police or they're going to the dealership to get it repaired. Nobody will suspect that that tow truck is actually stealing the vehicle. So it's funny when you look at it, vehicle thefts also has different roles. It's like you're going to work and you have like a manager, you have the employee, you have directors, you have VPs. They also have the same thing. So when you look at it, they have different roles. So the first role is, number one is the spotter. So who is a spotter? Spotter is the gang members who travel to residential streets, malls, and commercial parking lots looking for vehicles. They may monitor and track vehicles with GPS trackers they install so that they can then, the next person can actually go based on the GPS to go and steal your car. So thieves and gang associates who may be young offenders steal the car, earning about $500 to $1,500 per vehicle. That's a lot of money for young offenders. Then we have number 3, the driver. So a young or street gang member is recruited to drive the stolen vehicle to an export location like the Port of Montreal. Then we have number 4, the facilitator and the intermediary who coordinates vehicle types, models, and quantities to be stolen after getting the buyer's request. So this is the one who organizes and sets the thing. Number 5 is the exporter. So it coordinates the shipping and delivery of stolen vehicles to international markets, facilitating shipments of 2 vehicles in containers, and they're earning $50,000 per load. And then the buyer. So if there's no buyers, then there's no people stealing it, right? So criminals are either offshore and possibly located in Canada who request and buy stolen vehicles before reselling them to overseas in Africa, Middle East, and Asia. There's all these different rules that they have just to go and steal vehicles. And I think the most critical thing here is they're saying that the profit margin is a lot of money, and it will help gain for other things as well. So they're saying that the offshore higher level sellers can resell Canadian stolen vehicles overseas for the price equal to the full market price in the United States in US dollars. So meaning even if an older car, they can sell it at the full price in US dollars. And they're saying that the profit margin is massive, almost doubled the value of the Canadian car. If you were to steal a dozen of cars and traffic them to overseas, you potentially have a profit of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So Crime Stoppers has joined Toronto Police Services and some other police in the area, and also industry partners. They're launching an auto theft awareness campaign. And this campaign is from August 20th to September 30th. And what they're doing is they want to increase the awareness of auto theft in the communities. And they're trying to educate and encourage members of the public to report information about auto thefts and other forms of criminality anonymously to Crime Stoppers. So it's awarding an enhanced cash reward up to $5,000 for any information that can assist investigators in identifying and arresting those are responsible for auto thefts in Toronto. So definitely this is an incentive, but then I'm not sure if $5,000 is going to make a difference. Some people, again, if you know, would $5,000 be enough to encourage people to provide that information? I hope so, and definitely hoping that this will help. But then I also hope that, yes, you've given $5,000 to whoever provides information, you arrested them, but I hope that they're no longer on the road stealing another vehicle that evening or the next day. I think that's one of the most important things that needs to be done. Even if you're a young offender, sorry. Like, this is something that you should not be doing. I think there needs to be more things done to ensure that this no longer becomes a problem. Because at the end, people aren't willing to drive anywhere. Your economy goes down. You're just going to have a lot of problems. And then owners who have insurance coverage, they can't afford the insurance anymore because you drive a car out there, any car could be stolen. It's just that, is it on the list for someone who wants it? That's the problem that we have. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this $5,000 is going to help? And again, I think it's critical. Western Canadians, make sure you protect your vehicles because I think it's coming your way. I hope that you found that this video was informative, and until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.